My name is YE. I am the head of product of XerpaAI. So we are an AI agent, and as far as we research, we are the first world AI growth agent. And our mission is pretty straightforward. So we help emerging projects from Web3 and AI industry to help them to achieve growth. But growth is a very broad definition, right? So among all the dimensions, we specifically pick two things. We want to empower our clients. So one is we want to help them to have more user base, and more, we want to help them to be more influential or to be more famous per se, right? But like famous or influential itself is pretty hard to measure, and therefore, we specifically, based on our targeting clients, which is Web3 startups, which heavily rely on Twitter, this one platform. So we define a Sherpa index to help our clients to measure their influence over social media. So that's basically what we do. So if there's one thing we want our clients or we want to be remembered, is we help projects to achieve growth so they can fulfill their missions. I think that's a pretty good question because I was here last year at Token 2049, and compared to last year, I would say like a very obvious trend is that AI is talked more, right? Last year, like people say, oh, like AI is the future, like we should like adopt AI. But this year, people are no longer ask questions how to adopt. People are already ask questions how to work with AI, like side by side. So I think from this perspective, we as an AI agent of growth is really at a really good timing to help other projects as they already by default accept us or accept AI technology. Like it's just more how AI technology can help other projects to achieve growth. So in terms of the specific project, I would say like all the projects look promising because they are all our potential clients to a certain degree. But at the same time, I as the head of PM, I have been researching and searching the trend of AI industry in terms of the development, because AI is really, just as the Web3 industry, has been developing very fast. And there are just different formats in terms of how the technology can best serve the product or our clients. So I think from this perspective, I think I have been having very interesting conversations with different clients, with different products, with different teams. And so at least what I can say is at this point, I have been very benefited from this experience. Of course, I think this is a very solid question. So again, like even we specifically help our clients to achieve either more user base or to be more influential still is pretty big, right? Still is a pretty big topics. And based on this situation, we came up with 3 features within our product to specifically help our users to do this, right? So for one is we are helping our clients to generate content, because in the age of social media, Twitter or social media is pretty much the only method that's possible to communicate with any clients with their communities. And from this perspective, they need content to share over their social media to communicate with their clients or with their communities. And in order to do that, they of course need content, right? And most likely they will, like occasionally they would have content, they would have idea in terms of what to share, right? They may say, oh, we are here for 2049, come stop by our booth and say hi, right, etc. But most likely 6 out of 7 days, they may not have content, they may don't know what they share. And that's the biggest value we anticipate to share with our clients, right? So we can help them to advise them what are some trendy ideas, what are some topics they may want to share with their clients or with their communities. So that's the first step. And the second step is really distribution. So at this stage, our targeting clients still is Web3 startup, and which means KOL and KOC or group leaders are the only plausible way or possible way to perform distribution of their information, right? So from this perspective, from our experience as UX Link, and we have already built a very deep network of KOL and group leaders. So as of now, we already have, as far as I can remember, more than 100,000 group leaders, more than 10,000 KOLs, and specifically, we have 300 of them from South Korea, the market. And based on such strong network of KOLs, we are pretty confident that we can effectively boost our users' clients and our clients' requirements. And last but not least is really this tracking procedure, right? Tracking process, because it's very hard, especially for influence, the level of influence, right? How do you argue, say, I'm more influential than I was yesterday? So based on this situation, or to help our user to resolve this dilemma, right? So we specifically come up with this Sherpa index based on real data from Twitter. So to ensure the data is not only trackable, verifiable, but also it's accurate enough to help our clients to track not only their own level of influence, but also their competitors. So they can better position themselves in the ecosystem of Web3, so they can make better decisions to achieve more growth. So like this is basically a very typical roadmap we are helping our clients, right? So from the first step of the content to distribute, and then to use data, to real data, trackable data, to advise whether their effort is effective or not. So I think this is a very interesting question because so big, because of course we as a product, we have our own business goal, but also as a product, we have our product goal, like we want to help other projects to achieve growth. So I think like if I must pick one dimension to answer this question, I would assume is like, we want to help other projects to achieve growth because growth is such critical element for any projects to fulfill their missions, right? And a lot of projects, even though they have very talented, gifted engineers, they have a lot of money from VCs and they are very ambitious, but because they do not have enough growth, so they failed. And from this perspective, we would love to help such talented, gifted engineers or projects to achieve enough growth, to have enough growth, so they can fulfill their missions and overall to help this world a better place, right? So I think this is really the ultimate vision, ultimate goal we are trying to fulfill.